welcome to the Boat Nook. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I took an old head sail. I think it was from a Dockrell 17, that I no longer have. And I cut it down and resew it and make a little 110 jib for Com-Pac 16. It's the head sail that I was actually using in the last video that I did where I went camp sailing down on the Neuse River. So that's the sail in use, and it actually worked out really well. But anyway, I just like to say, just recycling, reusing things, and it worked out well. Hope you enjoy. I'm cutting a sail down from a different boat and making it into a sail for a Com-Pac 16. This sail was in pretty good shape. It's actually not bad shape at all, except for it was a roller furler sail, and it had been left rolled up with no cover on it, and so the outer few inches was a bit dirty, and the threads were a little bit rotten. And so I trimmed all that off, and then the bottom of the sail was about 1.5 feet too tall, and so I trimmed that off. And I've got it hemmed, just ironed into a hem on it, and I've got just a little tiny bit of a curve to it, both directions, just a little bit, and I've got this edge here hemmed, ironed down into a hem as well. And so this bottom edge I'm going to reinforce with a hem strip and stitch it all together to reinforce that a bit. And this outer edge, I think I'm going to just zigzag stitch it once right on the very outer edge, and then again right on the inside of that hem, rather than putting a hem tape all the way up that edge as well. And of course I've got to put in my reinforcing patches here and here back, and put in my grommets there and there, the clue in the foot. And then I'm trying to decide if I'm going to put a roller furler on this boat or not. Like I said, it's a little Com-Pac 16. And I've got a roller furler that would work with this sail on that boat, and I'm thinking about putting it on it. I'm not sure. But if not, I'll just put Hanks on it, and it'll still be good to go. So it'll work either way. This is an old sail that I had from a 16 just to get my measurements off of. It's the size I wanted, but it's just wore out. This one here's still nice and crisp. Got a few little spots that's kind of dirty, but it's overall nice and crisp, so hopefully it'll work. And I didn't cut it down drastically, so it shouldn't have changed the overall shape that much. But once I fly it and see, I think it'll be okay. I can always put a short dart here and here to put a little belly in it, but I think I want it nice and flat, and I think this is going to be kind of flat. Nice and flat will let me point to windward better. Anyway, I've got it pretty much ready to sew. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow I can get it sewn. Try it out. I don't know how well this is going to go. I haven't done any sewing in at least a year, probably. So we'll see. I don't really have a particularly good setup. I'm using a really old Singer commercial machine. And I'm trying to catch right down the center of this edge of this hem here so that it keeps it from unraveling. And then I'll come back and put another seam down through the center. That's looking pretty good so far. This is a commercial machine that is designed to go crazy fast. And I've got it turned down as low as it'll go. It's got a servo motor driving it. So it's got a variable speed control on it. And I've got it turned down as low as it'll go and still sew through this thick material. And even then I have to be really careful with my foot pedal or I will have it going too fast. Because it will fly. I've set all these hems with double-sided tape. That way I don't have to worry about pinning anything or anything like that. And that is a real good way to do it. And I am using a heavy UV protected thread. I'm using a number 92 thread, which is as heavy a thread as I can sew with this machine. And it don't like that. It likes one size smaller, but I can get away with it. I used to have a Sailrite machine, and while I liked it, and it did a fantastic job, you know, they cost a lot of money, and it didn't do anything that this machine won't do, and I had both machines, and it's like, you know, it's kind of no more sewing than I do. It was kind of foolish to have that expensive machine just for doing occasional jobs like this. That this here sewing machine does perfectly fine, and this is a $100 machine, and the other one is, you know, a lot. But the Sailrite machine is a really good machine though. Now, when I start getting into this really heavy stuff, that's when you gotta slow down or you'll break the needle if you're not careful. I'm gonna go ahead and back up right here and do a lock stitch right there just in case I mess up and have to redo. That'll already be locked away. But by the time I get to the end here, I'm going to be going through probably 15 layers, 12 to 15 layers. So you can see why it can easily break a needle. Yep. That last little bit, it didn't like. But it did do it, and that's like I say, that's probably at least 12 layers right there on that edge, and it sewed it fine. Not an issue at all, really. And I'm gonna go all the way around the two edges that I had redone on this sail, and then I'll go back and do them again, and then I'll sew in my patches. I don't know whether you can see what I'm trying to do here, but I'm sewing right down the edge of that hem, and I'm going catching the hem and then catching just past the hem, just barely, and just kind of it locks that edge down nice and tight where it won't unravel. And then I'll come back and run another stitch further back into the body of the hem there to tie it all together good. Now this patch here is going to be even thicker. Yeah, just broke my needle. I knew I was going to do it. I just tried to push it just a little bit too far. This very end here, where there's so many layers right here at this end, and where the bolt rope is at and all that, I'm going to have to stitch that last few inches right there by hand, most likely, which is fine. That's not unusual to have to do that. But I just hope I've got some more needles. Oh well, time to see if I got some more needles. Okay, just a little bit more here and I'll be done. Just using my little hole punch here. Cutting my holes in preparation for my grommets. Okay. Okay, so that's got all that. Now, in preparation for putting in a larger diameter hole here, there's my punch. I'll just put that right there, and then whenever I put my larger one in, it'll still work fine. You see that where that needs to be bigger. You see where I got to clean it some too, where the sail's dirty. So the other side's clean, that side's dirty. Anyway, that'll work. I just put a soft shackle through there to tie my jib sheet to, and it'll be all good. Or in that case, it's the foot. On this boat with this sail, I'll be using a little pinion at the bottom of the sail anyway to lift it up just a bit, so it won't be an issue with that anyway. Keep picking up the wrong thing. Okay, I've got to take my hot knife and singe this curve right there. And I've got to do just a tiny bit of hand stitching right around that, right there. And then that's all good to go.